Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Suffer the Priest, and today we're going to go over Shadow Priest DPS rotation that we use in PvP. First thing I'm going to talk about is our main damage dealing abilities. Then I want to talk about Shadow Orbs and why they're so important for Shadow Priest. Finally, we're going to look at the Shadow Priest rotation and any variations on that rotation, depending on certain situations. First and foremost, we're going to talk about Mind Blast. This is our main damage dealing ability, and it also gives us our Shadow Orbs, which is how we do our big burst later on down the line when we get a little more built up. Next we have Shadow Word Pain, our instant cast damage over time ability. Then we have Vampiric Touch, which is a casted damage over time ability that does more damage than Shadow Word Pain. Finally we have Mind Flay, which is a channeled ability that also slows the target and deals damage over time. We also have things like Devouring Plague, Mind Spike, and Divine Star. Devouring Plague we use with our Shadow Orbs, and we'll talk more about this later in the Shadow Orb section. Then we have Mind Spike, which is a quick cast damaging ability. The downfall to that is it actually clears all our damage over time abilities that we currently have on the target, making it almost useless in PvP except for very specific situations. Divine Star is also an ability that we can get at level 90 in our talent tree. Divine Star is actually a really good healing ability also, and should probably be saved for healing when we need it rather than trying to do a little bit more damage. Now let's talk about Shadow Orbs. Shadow Orbs are orbs we generate when we deal damage with Mind Blast. We also gain a Shadow Orb when we deal damage with Shadow Word Death, but we can only use Shadow Word Death when the target has 20% or less health. So for the time being, we can assume that our only way to get Shadow Orbs are through Mind Blast. Shadow Orbs are the most important resource for priests, as they lead up to our Devouring Plague and Insanity cooldowns that do amazing amounts of damage onto our target. Our top priority at all times should be getting 3 orbs. Once we get 3 orbs, we can use cooldowns like our PvP trinket, as well as Power Infusion, and we can cast Devouring Plague on the target. And when respect for Insanity, we also use Mind Flay at the same time to deal that great damage. Our Shadow Orbs are so important that we need to be using Mind Blast every chance we get. That means whenever it comes off cooldown, you should use it immediately. If you can't use it on a current target, try using it on a Hunter's Pet or Warlock's Pet, or even on something else that you can attack just to get the orb, because your orbs are the most important thing. Finally, let's talk about our rotation. Most of the time, you want to open with a Mind Blast to get your initial Shadow Orb to start gaining them for in the future when we use our Devouring Plague. So you want to open with a Mind Blast and immediately cast Vampiric Touch on your target. And right as Vampiric Touch is finishing, cast Shadow Word Pain. This gives you a Mind Blast hit, which gives you 1 Shadow Orb. You have Vampiric Touch, which is a damage over time ability, and Shadow Word Pain, which is a damage over time ability, all on our target, all within a couple seconds. After these abilities are casted, we're basically waiting for Mind Blast to come up again. So during this downtime, you can cast Mind Flay to fill in the gap, or you can even start dispelling your target, depending on which situation you're in. Once we've generated 3 Shadow Orbs using Mind Blast, our next goal is to get a successful Devouring Plague casted on the target, start casting Mind Flay with our Insanity talent. This is how Shadow Priests deal a tremendous amount of damage in a short period of time. Now there are also some other situations where the rotation may change. If your target is really far away and he's going out of range, you want to start with Shadow Word Pain because it's our only instant cast ability. Also, if you're being chased and you're running away trying to kite somebody, Shadow Word Pain is really our only option because it is our only instant cast ability. The same rule also applies when someone's about to walk around the corner, because if we start casting Mind Flay before someone turns the corner, it continues to channel onto them even if they're behind the wall. So to recap, the ideal rotation starts with Mind Blast, then Vampiric Touch, then Shadow Word Pain, followed by Mind Flay to fill in the gaps, and then eventually Devouring Plague to do our huge DPS. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Take it easy.